They wanted me to be a part of their show. They wanted to provide me with all the models and all these things. All the models were sizes 2 to 4. And I have nothing against that, but that's not my thing. I will sprinkle 1 or 2 in there. But if the majority, if I have 8 models and 4 or 5 are not plus size, I'm not participating.
Right.
And they was like, well, you know, industry. No. I believe, and I'm so glad that we're doing this Black History Month. I believe that there's always been a standard. I do believe that. But I also believe that I create my own.
Right.
And if I keep trying it the way you want me to do it, that's not unconventional. Unconventional says that I can be a 55-year-old model on a runway, and I can be a soccer mom by day, and I'm taking pictures. No, I may have never gone to New York Fashion Week. I might not even know what that is, but that does not mean that I do not add to and bring added value to wherever I enter. And so that is that's like, I love when people try to put us in that box, because I tell them all the time, listen, I love my ladies with they plus size this, they that. We celebrate that. We do not conceal. I do not add any editing to pictures. What you see is what you get, because more people look like us than them anyway. So ain't no sense in me I can put size 2s and size 4s. And again, it's not to knock that, but in this day and age of what we experience and what we still experience, especially as Black women, how we are, you know, you'll use me for this, but you won't really put me on the cover. And if you put me on the cover, you'll surround me with so many other smaller women or women of another nationality. And I'm somewhere in there, but it's a rarity that you see a plus size woman on any regular, popular circulated magazine. And I just believe that that can change. I really believe that it can change. And I feel that for not just plus size Black women, but Black women in general. And so for me, when I say added value, I'm looking at all of those things. I look at all of that. And for me, whenever you come to one of my shows, I'm the type of designer that I'm also a stylist. And so I'm going to make sure you're right from head to toe. You have to be right from head to toe, because it creates the look. And so, yeah, I'm just real intentful on that. And I don't apologize for it. I tell people all the time, you don't put baby in the corner. Who is baby? Baby is that big girl that's real cute, that's wanting to, but you keep telling her that she can't. And so that's why I'm here.
And I love that. I love that, because you see fashion as life. It's not just something you put on to look a certain way at different times. Like it embodies your personality, and helps you to express your individuality, right? And that's why I love it. That's why I love unconventional designs, because it's not the same stuff that you're seeing everywhere. And I think that we've been pigeonholed into this standard of beauty, which actually does not include us. It's like they thought of us as a byproduct. And so they just really have started to, because they see that there's money to be made, now they want to kind of expand what that looks like. And so for you, tell us about some of those stereotypes that you faced as a woman, and how you navigated those and overcame them, because it's not really easy to do that. Like you said, we're bombarded with all of these images and all of that. And so talk with us a little bit. How did you work through some of that? And tell us what some of those challenges were.
And so, to be completely transparent, I'm still in that vein. I'm still in that particular working through it. What I've done to kind of navigate is to be true to myself. And it goes back to middle school. If I'm going to wear something denim, I'm gonna wear something denim. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be the bomb. It's not gonna look like what you think that denim should look like. If it's if it's a draped dress, if it's whatever. How I've managed to break down and start to break down some of those barriers is be true to my aesthetic, never blending in. I do not, at no point, I'm in nobody's fashion show on purpose. as a model. Never, because you always dress me according to what you think plus size women should wear. I rarely promote boutiques unless I know that you are really trying to create an experience for all of your shoppers, not just your ones that are of a certain size, meaning on the lower size or the smaller size, better word, smaller size. And so I also kind of looked at what the industry was doing as a whole. I look at large retailers, and I'm not going to call anybody's name. I look at the large retailers that's supposed to cater to plus size women. My allergies are trying to just do some things. I'm so sorry. I look at those and I say, well, there's still no place for me there. There's still no place for me there. I've even worked for some of them. And when I worked for them, I would catch flack because I would wear my stuff with some of their stuff. But I would still tend to get more compliments on my stuff because it was like you referenced. Everybody it's like, it looks the same. You can look on some of those online stores, or either you order it and it's of a flimsy material, or it's, it's nothing like they presented it, and then they only present it in a smaller woman. Right. So I need to know, if I got big arms, I got a shirt's going to fit on me. I need to know what it's going to look like. And so for me, how I've been able to navigate is being true to my aesthetic. And even if that means that door closes, that's fine. That's cool. That's great. That wasn't a door for me. I'm creating the doors for other people. And I said, I don't mind being the sacrificial lamb. I don't mind getting the no's. I don't mind telling you no, because you want me to compromise to what your way of doing things. And so I've taken on autonomy and control of my brand. At first, I was just coming back. I was like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then when I started running into those same barriers, to be completely transparent, I started to feel like, maybe I do need to do this. Maybe I do need to do that. Maybe, no. And even if it meant me taking my phone and this being my camera, because you telling me you can't take this angle, guess what? What people don't know, my first 6 photo shoots would take this phone right here. Right here. My son is a graphic artist by trade and profession. I got me some apps. I said, you know what? Okay, like even to this day, people tell me all the time, who does your videos? Who does your promos? Me, I do. I schedule time, and sometimes it takes me 2 to 3 hours to get my content, my videos, the way that I need it to come across. I don't have the expenditures right now and the money to cover all this stuff. It doesn't mean that I think I got to keep going. And so that is what I run into. I run into still a meeting this week with a guy, amazing guy, doing some amazing things. And I'm looking at 30 models in this huge show and only 6 are plus size. That's a problem to me. That's a problem to me. When I do a casting for plus size model, I get 40 women.
Right.
Because what's happening is, if I show up in all of the 2s, 4s, 6s, they got on these heels to here, they twirling, they doing, you call out European, you call out all these things. I may not know how to do that. I may not even understand exactly what that is. Or when I walk, her legs are longer and slender, so her strides are more. So it's so many different things that that I've run into and that I'm trying to get around or just go directly through. That is a daily. As much time as I spend sketching, I spend just as much time researching and seeing what way can we come through this door another way. If the door doesn't exist, God help me to find the door. And so it's I wish I could say that it's easy. It's not. Even from a plus size designer standpoint, a lot of people don't necessarily want me on their show, right? Because they know when I come, my ladies stump. They literally, they listen. It's you already know. When we put it together, and when you tell a plus size woman, hey, I need you to show out. And my ladies are bold, big, confident. Some of them are 6'3", 340, 350, sometimes 400 pounds. Listen, but they get on that runway and all they see is their lane and they traveling it. And to me, and a lot of times when we do that, I get kind of calls afterwards. How can I? But it shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take that. And if I'm doing a show, I want it to be equal. I want it to have the same type of vibe. I don't have any problems with smaller models. I don't. That's amazing. That's great. Those are some of my very first models, were smaller women. But that's not it. Things have changed. And I do that even with my designs. I'm creating clothes for women with larger arms, but a small with legs. Your back is wider, but you have a little waist, or you have that boxer shape. Well, we're gonna style you to where we create the curve. And see, I take all that stuff into consideration when I'm making stuff and when I style people. Because I can easily make you something and say, yeah, go and put that on, you look good in it. No, you don't. Mm-mm. No, you don't. And I've never liked that if they make it in your size, wear it. No, you don't. No, it's about presentation. And I'm big on my own presentation. And so I let that translate into the work that I do, from talking to youth and young adults. When I stand before you, I'm going to be presentable. I'm not coming here with no slides on. I don't care if my feet hurt, and I'm going to have on some level of a heel. And I'm going to, a former teacher who's gone to be with the Lord, Mr. Franklin Smith, he said it: dress for the position you aspire. Whatever room you enter in, it's your room. Now, what you going to do with it? And so that resonates with me. I don't care if I'm never one of those people that just run to the grocery store. If I run to the grocery store, I'm taking Ashlyn, I'm taking Ginger, I'm taking something less than have on some kind of cloth. I'm gonna throw something on. I have clothes that I throw on, and I promise you, it looked like I done no, it's just something I throw on. It may not need to be ironed. I'm really huge on presentation, and I am that way because of my size, because of my complexion, because of all those things that have been considered as barriers or hindrances to some. My complexion, this ain't always been received. We hear all this melanin magic now, but coming up middle school, all them 20 plus years ago, wasn't nobody talking about no melanin. Wasn't nobody talking about no. Wasn't nobody talking about black is beautiful. Black was shameful. Look, this says black excellence right here. That ain't what I was feeling. So I was fighting against. My sister always have been much lighter than me in my family. Unfortunately, to be more transparent, I started wearing the stockings because my aunt told me my legs was too black. Yeah, my aunt told me my lips was too big. So I tried everything she told me. I tried to cover. I said, Lord, I got the lips, natural lips people buying right now, and looking a hot mess in the process. But I had to get out of that, and that happened so unfortunately. Some of the stuff that we have to fight against, it's right within our family circle. It's right within the people that are supposed to be our nurturers. And I'm flesh of your flesh, blood of your blood. And here I am being told this as a 10, 9, 10, 11-year-old. My lips too big. You need to ever wear lipstick. Your legs too black. So that was a lot of times the main color stockings I wore was the white one. So when I tell people my backstory, they're like, I'm telling you, this didn't come from a happy place.
Right.
It came from a place, and this is why I work with youth also. It came from a place of wanting to be accepted, but not even accepted for my personality, my smarts, but for the way that I look. And that's never okay. Because somebody's going to be darker than me. Somebody's going to be bigger than me. And if I want to be accepted by just people for the way that I look, I have missed the mark. Because at the end of the day, I have no control over the complexion of my skin, the thickness of my lips, the wideness. I have no control. Yes, I can diet and do all the things that I need to do. But if I'm so focused on being accepted, liked, appreciated, invited because of the way I look, I've missed the mark. I've missed the mark. And it's unfortunate you have people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s still trying to live up to the acceptance of others. And I got to do all these things. I got to get the BBL. I got to get the lip injections. I got to lighten my skin. I got to get weave down my back because I don't like my nappy hair. I'm trying to do all these things. And it's like we talked about earlier. It's way bigger than putting on a cute dress, or it's bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. And I know mine started from a place of trauma. It really did. I was running
Yes.
away from so many things. And yeah, thank God it panned out. But I know I see young girls. I know I see young plus size girls, and I see them. I see straight through them. And that big is beautiful. It may resonate for some, but it don't resonate for everybody. You got
Right.
grown women that have never been okay with big is beautiful. Just never have been. And the BBW movement again, wasn't nobody checking for the big girls back in the 80s and 90s. Well, nobody, we wasn't all, it wasn't even a such thing as BBW. And that's what I tell people. All this is new, and I thank God for it, because it's taking it to a different level, and I don't like, there is some good in it because it's celebrating who you are. But if in the core of that, it's some things going on that you're trying to live up to somebody else's standard of beauty, or being accepted because of what you have on or what you don't have on, then we're still missing the mark. And my goal is to try my best. So that's why I say it's definitely still a struggle. Definitely still a struggle, because we still aren't accepted. We still aren't. And so I just got to move forward every day, trying to knock down doors as best I can. But I ain't mean to be crying on here. Now
Right. That's okay. We do that too. We do
I'm
that
finna be
too.
all boogery.
I think one thing that is important to say, one thing that's imperative is for us to learn that our words matter, our actions matter, especially in the lives of children, because they're so impressionable. And
Mm.
children are sponges. Whatever you give to them, whatever you present to them, they soak it in, they take it
Yeah.
in. So those words begin to live in our hearts, in our minds as children, and they help to shape the way we love or don't love ourselves. And
You right?
that's key. That's key.
Yeah.
And having to, I would much rather help to engage and to heal the mindset of a child than to have to help an adult reframe their thoughts, because then
Yeah.
they experience so much trauma and so much self-doubt and so much uh, deprivation at the
Mm.
hands of other people, right? And even on my own journey, I can think about the times that I was complicit in my own abuse and didn't even realize it, right? And trying to conform to some image and all of that. So I love the work that you're doing, because even though it's something that we all gravitate to and love to see and experience, the truth is it goes far deeper than what we are putting on the outside. And
Oh
so
yeah.
that's what makes me love the work that you're doing, whether it's with young people or whether it's with women. Um, I think it's important also for us to recognize that everybody comes with a story.
Mm.
And so, one of the things that I really like about your presentation when it comes to fashion or when it comes to any of the events, because we've worked together on several things, and
Hmm.
is that it's something that helps people to be authentically who they are.
Yeah.
And to, if they don't already know it, to begin to discover their own authentic self.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so I love that, because we definitely need that.
Hmm.
Because out here, everybody is good with pretending.
Ooh.
It's so much pretense, and social media is the place where everybody can pretend. Everybody
Yeah.
puts on their highlight reel.
Oh yeah.
But when authenticity walks in the room, when authenticity walks in, healing
Oh
happens.
yeah. Oh yes.
Healing happens. And so it's not just the runway, it's people starting to embrace and own who they are,
Yeah.
right? Own other parts of themselves and discover other parts of themselves that
Yeah.
they allowed to lie dormant because of shame, right? Because of fear, because of self doubt. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I love it. I love it. And you can see it when the models are walking, as they are
Yeah.
walking, you see
Mm-hmm.
the confidence building. You see the isms falling off, the impact of the isms falling off, those chains falling off. So it's not just about clothing, it's not just about accessories.
Mm-mm.
It's about embodying and embracing your own authenticity. So I
Oh
love
yeah. Oh yeah.
it.
Definitely.
That's what people see and that's what people get when they get you.
Oh yeah.
In any
All day.
room, listen, in any room, I don't care if she is in a boardroom, in corporate, it doesn't matter. At church, it doesn't matter. She is fully herself. And so, uh, what would you say to other people? What advice can you give to those single moms and other women who aspire to pursue any career really, but particularly a career in fashion or any of the creative
Mhm.
fields?
I would say, don't get distracted. And I say it because we'll get distracted. Us being creative people, we get distracted when we see our level of creativity not on the forefront. And so don't get distracted because distraction creates compromise. Compromise will have you making it in blue when you know your favorite color is yellow. Now, that's just a color, that's just a light reference, but it will have you to compromise if your aesthetic, if your person, if your whole vision is to make shoes, make shoes. Even if you got to make a slide at first, even if you're trying to learn about this shoe, even if you got to take old shoes and repurpose them into something new, stay in the area that you know you are gifted in. Stay in the area that you know, and I say stay in that area only to get your foot in the door. Other opportunity will present itself, but don't try to be something that you're not. Don't get distracted. Distractions will have you all the way in left field, and that's not where you're supposed to be. And you have to also understand that don't compare your start with somebody's already on the path. I can't look at what you've been doing and you've been doing it 10 years and feel a certain kind of way. This is year one for me. So I got to learn things in this year one so that I can get to year 20, year 30, year retired and living in somewhere. Some of those things. And so that right there, that's a huge stronghold for, and especially being a single parent, especially being a woman trying to break down just the norm, just the barriers of that. Maybe getting paid less money, maybe in a chauvinistic environment, just all of the things that go along with just being a woman. You add a black woman to that, you just kind of compounded some more stuff. So it's going to always be those things that we're fighting against and the freedom that we're fighting to reclaim. But at the end of the day, you can't get distracted. You can't get distracted. You have to stay focused. Even if you have to go one step that one day, and that one step may be, let me just write out my plans over the next month. Be realistic. I stopped putting, okay, by this time next year, because you know what? For people like me, when you internalize that, that turns into a different type of fuel because you're like, oh God, 365 days. Then the next day, oh God, 364 days. Oh God. And I'm the type, okay, it ain't happening these 2 months. Okay, it ain't happening this, it ain't happening that. So my realistic goals, like I shared with you before, we take it a week at a time. We take it a week at a time. I don't do one day at a time because I just believe that, yeah, I want to be mindful. And I know days come one at a time, But I just believe that we have to plan, but we have to be realistic in our planning. And the way that things are set up, how life be life, how you could literally be here one day,